Hello, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Freeloaders and gaslighters are the best at turning good deeds into harmful and manipulative actions because it doesn't suit them. If they have a problem with supporting themselves, it's time for them to figure it out. They've gotten 2 decades of extra help under their belt. You don't owe them anything else, OP. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. No, you're not living in the house I bought for my mom. My 45-year-old female mother, 76-year-old female, is a very simple person. My father abandoned us when the youngest was 6 months old, and my mother was never the same mentally. I have a good financial condition. I try to help as much as I can with the groceries and bills, but it's very complicated because my mother refuses to come live with me and remains in the terrible house that my father gave her in the divorce. My brother, my sister-in-law, and their 3 children, 13-year-old male, 9-year-old male, and 5-year-old female, live in the house at the back. And the house was tiny with a big yard. My brother built his house in the back and made the house even smaller, and he uses my mom as a free babysitter to take care of the kids he had. Not to mention the dogs he adopted and never paid for their food, and several times their children go to eat at my mother's house. Keep in mind that my mother receives a low salary in retirement that's only really enough to support herself. I've been saving money for more than a decade to buy her a house, and I finally got it. It's a simple house with 1 bedroom and 1 bath with a big yard with a garden perfect for her. I talked to her and she agreed with me that it would be better for the house to be in my name because I know my brothers and what they're capable of at any given opportunity, but it would have a lifetime usufruct clause for only her. I warned her that I didn't want my brother to move with her, but in return, she wouldn't have to worry about bills and food anymore as I would help. She looked relieved. I told my brother at her request, she was next to me, and he said it'd be difficult to accommodate everyone, but eventually he would help expand the house to house everyone. I saw the despair on my mother's face, so I just made it very clear that the house was for my mother and not for them. He started to say yes, but he could help with the bills or food, and that his and his mother's house was too bad for a family of 5. I said no. The mother accepted the gift, knowing that he wouldn't live there and that due to their history, I wouldn't trust him to pay the bills. He doesn't pay my mother, and I wouldn't be paying for 5 people. He started calling me selfish and that I was an a-hole to give a gift on condition, knowing how bad my mom's house is and that she obviously has no other option to accept. He said I was purposely harming him and posing as a monster he is not. My mother's more relieved to get him out of the house, but my brothers are calling me an a-hole even more because the house is in my name. And our second story. Annoying Karen wanted the exact change and got mad when she got the exact change. This happened like 5 years ago when I worked in a grocery store, so I might be paraphrasing a little since I don't remember exactly what was said. I'm going to talk about change in SEK. 1 SEK equals 10 cents. It was a quiet Saturday morning in the store. There wasn't barely any customers in the store, and I was just hanging around the mail checkout. In my country, you pick up parcels and big letters at your local grocery store, since we don't have post offices anymore, preparing parcels for return, stocking stamps and envelopes whilst keeping an eye out for customers. We were understaffed that day. Usually at least 2 people were out in the store stocking shelves, helping customers, etc. One always answers calls from the checkout and opening the second checkout in case there were many customers, and the other one's supposed to be out in the store helping customers and being available in the mail checkout. But on this day, I was the only staff member on the floor. It wasn't a big deal since the store was fairly quiet. I was just minding my own business and enjoying the quietness of the store. But then Karen appeared. I saw her slowly approach the mail checkout. She was one of the regulars. She was a grumpy, troublesome customer. She acted like she hated the world and everyone in it. She was rude to staff, managers, and other customers, very demanding, always complaining about the most ridiculous things. If I'm going to mention everything that was wrong about her, we'd be here all day. Simply put, when you saw her in the store, you knew that she had some BS on her mind. Karen comes up to me grumpy as usual and starts violently ringing the bell by the mail checkout even though I was right there in front of her. And then the following conversation ensued. K. Hello, service please. Me. Yes, hi, what can I help you with? K. I want to buy a stamp. Me. Yes, do you want a stamp with a certain postage amount or a quantity stamp? I need to ask this because she didn't specify which kind of stamp she wanted. K. How am I supposed to know? You're the one working here. A regular stamp. How hard is that to understand? Me. Okay, so a quantity stamp is the letter under 50 grams? I did know that she probably wanted a quantity stamp, but I still have to ask. K. Yes. How hard is it to understand? I picked up a stamp and registered it in the checkout as you do. Me. Yes, that would be 9 KR. Karen gives me a 10 KR coin and I open the checkout box and I see that we're out of 1 KR coins. In my head, I was like, oh, F me. She's going to make a fuss out of this. Me. I'm sorry, but we're out of 1 KR coins. Do you have another 1 KR? So I would get 11 KR and give her a 2 KR coin back. K. But why? I want my 1 KR back. Nothing else. You need to go get more change. That's your job. You're just too lazy to go get me my change. I might sound like I was lazy, as she said, but for some context, all the extra cash was stored in the safe in a different building. In order to get more change, you'd need to walk to the other end of the store, down to the basement, out to the street, round a corner, go down to another set of stairs, and there's the safe. The safe was also super annoying to open. The combination was long and tricky, and it had a timer, so if you didn't manage to get the combination right in a certain time, the safe would reset the combination, and you'd have to wait a minute before you could try again. I wasn't that used to opening that safe since I rarely needed to open it. Some coworker would always do it, but I knew the combination, but since I wasn't used to putting it in, it'd take some time. Like I got the wrong combination the first time, so I needed to wait and try again. Bear in mind that we were understaffed that day, so I didn't want to leave the store unsupervised just because some Karen wanted a 1 KR coin when I even saw that she had more 1 KR coins in her wallet. Me explaining how inconvenient it is to go get more change and that we're understaffed. Karen, unacceptable. I want my change. Now go get it, you lazy brat. Me, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but if you work with me, we're going to solve it. I noticed that you actually had 1 KR coins in your wallet. She cut me off. Karen, why are you looking in my wallet? It's none of your business what I have in my wallet. Are you going to get me my change or not? I just hatched a plan. I'm going to give her the exact change. Just a 1 KR coin. Me. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course. I'm going to get your exact change. The customer's always right. With my biggest service smile, you wait here. Karen. Well, finally. So I walked through the store, out the back, down to the safe, struggled with the combination, got it wrong twice. I did eventually get it open, so I took a tube of 1 KR coins, a paper tube with 25 coins, and I opened it, took out 1 coin, and put the rest of the tube in my pocket. I then proceeded to walk back to the store. I walked through the whole store whilst holding a single 1 KR coin, arm extended right in front of my face, walking towards Karen by the mail checkout. A small line had formed behind Karen, and you could hear the line sigh when they saw me coming with the single 1 KR coin. I gave the coin to Karen with a big smile and said, "Here's your change. I'm sorry for the inconvenience." She looked at me dumbfounded and said, "K, thanks, but you didn't have to embarrass me in front of all the other customers. Worst customer service ever. I'm never coming back here ever again." Me, "Thank you. Have a nice day." She then left with a huff. After she'd left, I picked up the 1 KR coin tube out of my pocket and filled the cash box with the rest of the coins. How's that bad customer service? I did exactly what she told me to do. She wanted the change, and she got the change. But to be honest, WTF is wrong with some people. A normal person would have just given me an extra 1 KR coin if they had one, take their 2 KR coin, and left. Or if they didn't have one, they would have just said, screw it. It's just 1 KR. I would have said that. And our last story. Dealing with a crazy neighbor. A little backstory. I bought my house in February 2019. All was cool, but then I started having problems with my elderly neighbor's 40-year-old daughter that still acts like she's 20. driving through my property, trespassing constantly, parking in my driveway. The driveway's between our two houses and there's no fence or anything as of yet. Something I'll be remedying soon. Bringing all sorts of trash over to her house and talking crap about me and my family because I won't let them trespass on my property. According to my other neighbors, this is a constant problem, and always has been. She used to do the same thing to the 93-year-old man that lived in this house, yelling at him and even ran over his grill with her car once. He seemed to never do anything except put up a fence in the back that was rotting and falling when I bought the house, and home insurance made me take it down prior to purchasing the home. I've never had any issues with any of my neighbors in all the places I've lived, so this is a fairly new phenomenon for me. Well, anyway, the problem came to a head when I called the police on them one night because she was sitting in my driveway in a car with a bunch of shady individuals. Earlier that day, she'd threatened to have someone come talk to me because I said I'd be putting a gate in the driveway. They have no longer parked cars in my driveway since this occurred, but now, even though I don't look in their general direction or even acknowledge them, this woman continues to talk trash and try to intimidate me. I have the cameras on the property and have recorded every time she's been on my property without permission. It usually happens when I'm not here. I had a survey done and had the property marked and pinned, and this seems to have made the problem worse. She brings her weird druggy friends over and they stand around and point at the survey marks and talk trash loudly. Yesterday, she started yelling racist things outside her home when my kitchen window was open, specifically about my ethnicity and background. I've gone to the police twice, and they always say the same thing. Just file it in civil court. We can't do anything. Blah, blah, blah. Update. We paid a professional company to get the fence done in a day. We opted for a chain link fence, no wood fence, which can be easily destroyed. Planted cat's claw vines along the fence. This vine can't be killed. People try and fail. Good fences make for good neighbors. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.